are back to talk about the Braxtons, y'all. We are on season 2, episode 6, y'all. And the question, Tamar is talking to her psychic, her medium, her therapist. I don't know what the lady's name is. Taz is her name. The question is, can Jesus fix it? Can Jesus fix it? And the other question is, family first. Is it family first? That's what her manager, whoever this guy is that's trying to advise her, her manager, or someone in her camp, they're basically telling Tamar, listen, you're miserable with your sisters, you're miserable without your sisters, but family is first, and y'all need to fix it. Y'all need to get together and go on a retreat. Is it bad advice, y'all? Do you think it's bad advice for Tamar to get together with her sisters and go on a retreat? Anyone who thinks it's a bad idea, raise your hand. It's a bad idea. First of all, this is just poor Tamar. I commend Tamar for trying to get some help, though. My question is anyone else in the family getting any kind of help, any kind of therapy? Because really, everyone needs to go get therapy. And what I actually believe is I don't think that they should go to therapy together first. I think that they should go to therapy separately. Maybe they can't see the same therapist, but we've seen these sisters try to get together in one therapy session, and it's just a lot of talking over each other. Everybody wants to be heard. Everybody wants their opinion to be the truth. And what I really believe they need to be is heard individually first before they're heard collectively. And so me personally, if I was Tamar's friend, I would be like, keep getting your therapy individually, separately from your family. But there's really no need for y'all to come together until everyone has talked to someone, a professional, and really figured out what parts can they own of the toxicity, because they're all toxic, and that's kind of the problem. No one is owning their part. So I kind of think that manager's advice was a bad advice. I don't think it was good advice. But later on, we see Toni Braxton going shopping with Trina to get some furniture for her office, because as we know now, Trina done got her realtor license, and now she's in the sports entertainment division. But later on, she's showing a house to Faison Love, and I'm like, Faison Love, he ain't in sports. He definitely ain't in sports. He may be built like an offensive lineman, but he ain't in no sports. In fact, wasn't Faison Love in the news lately? Isn't he supposed to be in jail? Didn't he get arrested for battery or something, thieving? I don't know. It wasn't a good look. Whatever it was, whatever I saw the headlines, because I can't remember exactly, it wasn't a good look. But Trina said, hey, I need some furniture for my office, and can you help me out, Toni? So Toni goes over and helps her out to look for some furniture. And Toni Braxton, once again, jumps in front of the line and says she's really the realtor of the family. She's really the decorator of the family. Pretty much what Toni Braxton does to all her sisters is she one-ups them. We already see Tawanda is fighting for her life with this wedding. Tawanda's like, I gotta for once be the person in the headlines. I for once need to be the person that's the star. You see, and I said last week, Toni Braxton showed up in that dress that said, it may be your wedding day, Tawanda, but I'm gonna be the star even of your wedding, because I'm gonna come here looking half naked. Even then I said, Toni, give Tawanda her day. Let her have her day. And in this moment, when Trina's going to look for furniture, and Trina says she wants to be the interior decorator, she's the realtor. Toni Braxton says, no, I got a takeover spirit, and I'm a better realtor than you, Trina. And Trina was like, but I'm the one that has already sold a house, Toni. Toni said, I don't care. And poor Trina said, for once, Toni, can you let me have my thing? For once, can I be the more talented one in an area? Or Toni Braxton, do you always have to be the talented one? We're starting to find out that when these ladies do something, Toni Braxton comes around and tries to do it better. Last week we was arguing about or talking about how Tamar dated some ex-boyfriends of Toni's, but it sounds like Tamar had the boyfriend first. So I guess Toni must have come behind Tamar and said, I can do it better. Um, I know Toni Braxton really shouldn't be in competition with her sisters, but there's a part of me that feels like Toni Braxton always wants to be a notch above them. I see Tawanda fighting for her life. Even in this whole career with Tamar and Toni, I always wondered why Toni and Tamar never collaborated on it, why they never could do a show together or do an album together or a song together. And I think it's just too much competition between these ladies. And that's what I'm saying. Even in their quest to heal, it seems to be a competition because I wonder, do these ladies go to therapy outside of the television cameras? Do they go on their own? Or, because we've seen them in a lot of therapy sessions, from Iyanla Van Zant to, I don't know, it was another lady, another man. We've seen them in a lot of group therapies throughout the years. But I wonder, do they only go to therapy for the cameras? And we're finding out this season that Toni Braxton is not exempt from all this toxicity in the family. Not at all. Not at all. But Tawanda is getting ready for her big day. She said, let me and my husband go out, my soon-to-be husband go out and fly these helicopters because he's a master pilot of RC helicopters. Okay, Tawanda. Okay, Tawanda. One good thing I was happy to see was, remember I've been talking about Tawanda's daughter's hair, and I'm saying, why is she hiding behind all that blue hair? What is she covering up? What's she doing? And I said, Tawanda, don't let your daughter be memorialized in that blue hair. You should tell her differently. But I was happy to see in this episode that Tawanda did try to get her daughter to change away from that blue hair and then blonde bangs. Because in 10 years from now, hell, forget 10 years. In 2 years from now, her daughter is going to be ashamed of that hair. I'm going to tell you that right now. But her daughter said, no, I'm going to wear it. And Tawanda let her wear it. You know what? At least she tried. Tawanda, I'm going to give you a few points because at least she tried. Another thing that Tawanda's trying for is she trying to hook up her mom on a date. Good for Miss Evelyn. Miss Evelyn, I hope you have softened enough to get with a man, because Miss Evelyn says she's picky. And Tawanda and Sean set her mom up on a blind date. And he was a good-looking man. He was really good-looking. And Miss Evelyn, for once, seemed to like somebody, because all the other men they've ever tried to set her up with, she never liked any of them. But this one was light-skinned with good hair. Kind of like Mr. Braxton. Miss Evelyn, she got a type. She got a type. They got to be light-skinned with good hair. And Mr. Larry came through. And Miss Evelyn said, I ain't got no date for the wedding. So if you want to be my date, you can be my date. So it looks like Miss Evelyn ain't got to go stag. She going to have her a dance partner. And I think that's good. And Trina's over here talking about she going to have to start cooking healthy for her husband. Miss Evelyn is over here asking Mr. Larry, does he know how to cook? But Miss Evelyn said, don't worry about it because she can cook real good. Miss Evelyn says she's throwing out that bait. She says the key to a man's heart is through his stomach. And I'm going to let this man know that I got my own cooking show, my own cooking book, and that's what I do. But they getting ready for this big wedding. Denham, who is Tony's son, had to go for his little session with the stylist. And the stylist is just like me. He says, these colors are whack, purple and brown. These are some whack colors for a wedding. And that stylist didn't even bring hardly any purple or brown for Denham to try on for this wedding. And Toni had to say, no, stylist, listen. You know Tawanda is real particular. She's real sensitive over this wedding. And Denham has got to wear brown. Those are the colors. No matter how ugly those colors are together or period, they ugly together. I don't care what no one says. They're not a good color combination. They're not. You know what? I'll say this. They were a good color combination in decorating a house. One time I saw a house decorated purple and brown, chocolate brown with sparks of purple. And I'm telling you, it was hot. Even like this background I got. Look at this background, y'all. It's purple with brown, right? But it don't really scream wedding though. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, the stylist like, I really don't like this brown purple thing, but you know what? If this is what you got to wear, Denham, to the wedding, this is what you got to wear. So he found him a jacket. And then we got to go see some of the rehearsal dinner. And Toni didn't show up for that either. Toni ain't showed up for nothing. Well, at least this time she had a good excuse, because the excuse she had this time was that Denham and her other son, that they was graduating. So she had a good excuse. So she went to the graduation, and that was all said and done very good. And then sure enough, not sure enough, but after Denham got back from his graduation, he was lucky enough to get gifted a whole entire car from his mama. And let me tell you, it just wasn't any car. It was a Maybach. Exactly. I know Denham pronounced it Maybach. You're going to have to learn how to pronounce the car if you're going to own the car. So go ahead and learn that, Denham. That's not called a Maybach. I think it's called Maybach. That's how the Germans pronounce it, Maybach. But who cares? It was an electric car. Is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars from what I know. And I didn't know Toni had it like this. I didn't know Toni. I know the sister's going to be mad. They're going to be like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me you can't pay for some simple things for me? We over here arguing over $30,000 for a down payment. We over here arguing over a T-Mobile, Boost Mobile cell phone bill contract for 3 years with Tamar, and you buying your son, your 22-year-old son, an electric Maybach. They're going to be hotter than fish grease. They're going to be more entitled than fish grease. But we got to see Trina doing her thing, showing the house to Faison Love, the comedian. And in the end, even though he could barely walk up and down them stairs with no neck, he says, I may not have a neck, but I got some money to buy this house, and this house is perfect. And he said he was going to put an offer in. I hope Trina got a commission. I really hope she got a commission. She was co-listing it, though. Why you got to co-list it? Because you a junior realtor, you can't list by yourself? I don't know. But what's good is good. Even if she get 50% of the commission, at least it's something coming in the house. And I got my question answered. I was wondering where Tawanda's son was. Tawanda told us that her son was off graduating from Navy. I believe it was Navy school. That's what I believe. Navy school, which is good. I was good about hearing it. And then everybody was wondering, was Tawanda going to get her cast off? And Tawanda had to come and play a little joke and lie a little bit, do what she does. Tawanda know how to tell a lie. She good at it. She lied to everybody and say, oh, I can't get my cast off. Tawanda should have wore that cast to that wedding, because that's going to be worth some money in that lawsuit. You know Tawanda going to sue them people who hit her with their car. As she should. As she should. But I would have worn that cast to my wedding and then told in that lawsuit, isn't there something about damages? You ruined my whole wedding, making me have to wear some purple cast to my wedding, and I want damages for that too. Tawanda gonna get paid. I know she gonna get paid, as she should. One more, and this time she ain't even got a lion still to get it. See, Tawanda, see how things work out. Just do the right thing, Tawanda, and money will come to you. Money will come to you. But anyway, that's all we really had going for this episode. I was glad we didn't see a whole lot of toxicity, but my advice to Tamar, as she's trying to struggle with family first, girl, no. Take care of your own mental health. Heal yourself. Everybody go off and get their own individual counseling. And after you guys are in a certain space, you can come back. But right now, it's too volatile. It's not going to be productive. Everybody's going to be chewing their feelings. Everyone's going to be pointing fingers. And it's just going to get worse. And Tamar need to figure out how not only is her family life affecting her love life, it's also affecting her friendships. I think Tamar has suffered a lot of trauma through this family, and it's affected a lot of her relationships. So she's got a lot at stake. So I hope she continues with her therapy. But I wouldn't push this family first thing. You know, put your mask on first. Isn't that what the airplane people tell you? If we crash, put your mask on first before you try to save other people. That's what Tamar needs to do. Save yourself first, girl. Save yourself first. But anyway, that's all I got, y'all. I will see you next week for the next episode. Talk to y'all later. Bye.